Hello, everybody. Hi, everyone. I'm so happy to be with all of you. It is Wednesday. Oh my freaking God. Holy cow. Wednesday, the 28th of April. And I've been home since Wednesday, March 10th. It's crazy. How many days we've been home? Oh my goodness. I hope you are doing well. I hope you are staying healthy. Hi, Kathy. I'm so happy you're here. I'm so thrilled to see so many of you on the phone too. Welcome, everybody. I see Denver in the house, California, Ohio, New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania. Oh, we've got Canada. We even have I've got UK. Welcome, everybody. So thrilled to have everybody in and on. And good morning, Barbara. Good morning, Tam. So today, I really am excited to talk to you all about what are the 3 things that you're doing that's really preventing you from losing weight? Are you getting stuck? Typically, I look at 3 areas when I'm doing some coaching and I'm looking at these 3 big circles. And I think you'll start to see where do you fit in these circles if you're struggling with some added weight. So did I say the 28th? Wednesday the 29th. You're right. It's Wednesday the 29th. Never know. See, I don't even know what day it is, Mimi. I don't even know. That goes to show how many days I've been inside that I don't even know. You could tell me it's Friday and I'd go, yep, or Monday or Saturday, whatever. So I am happy to be with all of you. I hope you're doing okay at home. Sharon and Kate, good to see you. Good afternoon from Detroit. Yay. So let's talk about these 3 areas. These 3 areas that get in the way that we need to really look at and address. So the first area that I see that people struggle with in terms of losing weight and really struggle with overeating. That is the big area I'm always looking at is where are you putting more food into your body than your body needs? This is probably the biggest. This is the biggest thing that I help people with, because if you're putting more food in your body than your body needs, our bodies are going to just hold on to that puppy. We're going to hold on to the fat, store it, keep it nice and safe. So why do we overeat? What are the things that I am looking at in terms of why do we tend to put more food into our body than our body needs? Well, first off, it's what we tell ourselves. We tell ourselves it's hard to stop. It looks so good. So I'm always looking at, and I want you to think in assessing this and assessing any overeating that's happening for you is, what are you saying to yourself that has you continue to keep on during a meal? Do you say things like, I got to keep eating. It looks so good. I should just grab it. I should just have it. All of these little sayings that we have and we say in our mind, they add up. So a little bite here and a little bite there, a little grape here and a little bit of an apple slice there. All of these pieces, when our body doesn't need food, all these little overeating bites, they just add up. And as you start to think and pause before you go into overeating, before you eat food, and check in, you're going to begin to move that dial from overeating all these little things or maybe big things to moving it down to being like, oh, wow, great. I actually don't need this. My body actually doesn't need this food. I'm actually feeling satisfied. So I want to start. So overeating, by and large, is the biggest thing that I see people struggle with in terms of their weight. And if you're overeating, and so you can get it, you might want to make a mental note of how is overeating showing up? Is it showing up? One, and how is it showing up? Is it showing up at night? Is it showing up when your kids have food and it looks so good and you want to take a bite of it? Is it showing up by when your husband says, let's have lunch, or I just made you dinner and you're not hungry and your body doesn't need food, but you're like, oh, I feel bad. So it's really the conversations that you have in your head. How is it showing up? And they're so linked. So overeating is so linked to what we say in our head and the actions. And so I just find that just using, if you can just pause a bit more to really get conscious of what you're doing instead of going into unconscious mode, if you could really get conscious in the moment when you just want to grab food or when you just want to keep eating, just pause, do a mental breath check-in to just, where am I at? What do I need? What's happening inside my body? Am I even hungry for this food? Just by taking a moment, a pause will help you so, so much, because the see it, eat it, it's not working. That's never gonna be a good strategy for weight loss. It's that, oh, I'm gonna pick, oh, I'm only gonna have, okay? So overeating is one of the things that I want you to look at in your life. Where is it happening? How is it showing up? And then the second big area I want to talk to you about today that gets in the way is stop believing everything you're saying in your head. Stop believing everything you are saying in your head. Here's what I mean. If you start to get fearful, so some of you are practicing listening to your body and you're doing really great. And then there's a part in your head that says things like, but what if I get hungry? I should probably eat this now, because what if I do feel hunger? Or something like, I've done so well today, I want to reward myself. All of these are little ways, little thoughts, little beliefs that our brain is trying to it's trying to get you to continue to eat, to turn to food. But you don't want to do that. You won't want to overeat. You don't want to just eat anytime for any reason. You want it to matter. And so when I want you to start really being aware of these voices and not believing everything your brain is saying. Because every time we say something that just because we want it or we need it or we should have it or it must happen, anytime we go into that space, we're then saying, you know what? My weight loss that I really, really have been craving, that I'm working really hard to achieve, doesn't matter. And so you have to differentiate. Is this a sneaky voice? Or is this a voice that's true? Is this real? Because here's the thing. The only time you should be eating is because you're hungry. Only time. That's the only time. That's the only time it really matters, when you are hungry. So if it's outside of hungry, if you do the pause, you check in, you see, nope, not hungry, then all those little bites will be all those little overeats. And you don't want that. You don't want to see that. You've got to stop believing what you're saying inside your head, okay? You've got to be able to differentiate. Is this helpful or is it not? Is this helping me lose weight, or is this moving me towards gaining weight? And I want you to really pay attention to your thoughts. Really, really start focusing on, what is my little head saying? What's my mind doing? And when is it doing it? You may have, and most people have this, your mind in the morning is like, yes, we've got this. It's going to be a beautiful, thin day. I know it. I feel so amazing. And then by 5:30, you're like, those damn kids, they're driving me crazy. I've been so good today. Who cares, right? That justification voice will pop in. And it will take you out of the game. So you cannot listen to every single voice that says, ooh, let's go eat, or ooh, let's have it, or oh, it doesn't matter. You've got to be selective. You've got to start being selective in what you're listening to, what you're paying attention to. It matters. You matter, and your weight loss matters. Your body matters. And so it's so important to remember to not listen to everything that your mind is saying. How many of you can relate to that, where you have this inner voice that loves taking you out of the game? And I want to hear from you, like, when is that happening? Is it happening early on, or does it tend to happen lunchtime, after lunch? Here's what I typically see around 3-4 o'clock on. That tends to be when that little voice, which actually needs something, that little voice that actually needs something, is having you turn to food or is moving you to food. One, it's either been a pattern of thought that you've just gotten in the habit of doing, or two, it's really needing something from you: a break, a timeout, a walk, breathing, meditation, right? It's really needing something. It means that I'm overwhelmed. I need help. Family members help me make dinner. I need support here. I need connection. I need love. I need something. Those words are needing something. They're just masking themselves as needing food. And you don't need food, because if you're not hungry, you do not need food. Yes, tends to happen from 3 o'clock on. Yes, afternoon, and I have a cup of tea. Brilliant. Have a cup of tea. That is a lovely way to go relax, calm, and create a new ritual for yourself. When those little words start to chime in, a new ritual that is ritualizing itself in a new thin way, like tea, like sitting and breathing, like meditation. Create a new ritual. If it's been eating, that's not working so well for your body, let's create something that will work better. Okay, so we have these two things that often get in the way that I'm always looking at with my clients. What is going on? Overeating? Where's overeating happening? Two, where's the thinking that's occurring that's not serving you? What is happening in that head of yours that's moving you to eat? And what are you believing that you think is true, but it isn't? Okay, so we've got your overeating, we've got your thinking, and the third thing then I want each of you to implement is I want you to think about systems. What do you have in place to help support you? What's helping you lose weight? What's making it harder for you to lose weight? I want you to get solution oriented. So systems that are solution oriented are going to be the magic here. When I was struggling with a lot more weight and I needed to lose weight, I wanted to lose weight, I was craving weight loss, I knew I needed to have systems. The systems that I put into place was, I'm going to honor my body when it's hungry. And when it's not hungry, I'm going to go do something that lights me up instead of just having food. I had to have other things besides food that lit me up, that lit up my soul, that gave me joy, that gave me happiness. I couldn't just keep having food. That was not going to be a long-term winning solution for me, right? It was only going to make me bigger. So do you know what lights you up? Are you clear of that? Do you have a system for connecting to those things? My best system is my phone. I schedule it in my phone. I know what to do, when to do it. So an example would be meditation for me. It's not long, a few minutes. Like I can only, for me right now, 2-3 minutes, 8 minutes at most. Perfect. Just giving myself the focus. Then I look at my vision statement, and any of you who don't have your vision statement, you go to my podcast, episode 41. That will walk you exactly through. I think that was last Wednesdays, I believe, or 2 Wednesdays ago. I don't know. Episode number 41 will walk you through how to create a vision statement. You've got to future pace. You've got to know where you're going. If you're not connected to your vision every single day, it's too easy at 5 o'clock to be like, who cares, right? That voice that wants to take you out of the game, that wants you really safe, it wants you happy, it wants you comfortable. And it really it doesn't mind at all if you're bigger, if you're 50 pounds bigger, 100 pounds bigger, it doesn't mind it. That needs to be addressed. That head needs to have, you need to look at your block. So here's what I do. I meditate, I look at my vision, and then I look at the things that could get in the way of my day, of me being who I want to be with my body. And I literally look at them. Blocks are like the things that I might say to myself, like, it doesn't matter. The things that I might do, like throwing down unconsciously popcorn or candy after 7 o'clock. And I come up with a plan that, and here's what you have to know about your plan and your system. It has to be something that you wholeheartedly want to do, that you believe in, that your brain goes, yeah, I like that idea. I really full-fledged want to do that instead. And so things like tea, like having tea, sipping on some coffee, having some lemon water, going outside and walking my dog, going and being in learning is such a, if you have podcasts you love, mine, no, just kidding. If you have podcasts you love, listen to them. I love to be in learning. I love to be filling my brain with things that I love. And I know that when I'm making dinner, I want to be filling my head with some of those things that just make me happy so that I can have my dinner meal be something that's in control. And then I look forward to having a walk after dinner most nights because it gives me this release. It gives me, I don't look forward to putting away the dishes or anything like that. Not that anybody does, but I will sit at dinner a little longer so that I don't have to do that, right? So that we can just oh, but this is so nice right now. Or just sitting and connecting and I can keep eating. Instead, I look forward now to having a walk this time of year. And that gets me up. It gets me pushing my food away. It's my system. It's my system for, okay, feel into satisfaction. You're done. Move the food away. Go for a walk. I mean, we put the dishes away and stuff, but then I'm focusing on a walk. In the wintertime, I'm usually focusing on a kettle of tea to peppermint tea to finalize my night. And I can even do that with lemon water. But I want you to have systems. You've got to be solution oriented in your thinking and your actions and your way of being if you want to lose weight. You just do. It doesn't have to be hard. It can't be hard. It's got to be something that you want to do, that you could look forward to, that's realistic for your life. So here's a few things I want you to write down. Your solution or your system needs to be one, realistic. It's got to be realistic. It can't be something that's crazy cuckoo when that's not what you are really ever going to do. It has to be realistic. Me putting on a kettle of tea, realistic. Me going for a walk, realistic. Me playing football in the field with my kids, also realistic, right? There's some things that are realistic, as to a board game afterwards, realistic. So there's some things that I can do that are realistic. The other thing you have to know, the new solution, the new strategy, the system has to match your energy. Here's what I mean by this. If I told myself, Marna, eat your dinner and then go to the gym. I mean, I know nobody can go to the gym, but go do a crazy workout right now. That is not the energy I'm at. I know in the evening at that 6:30, 7 o'clock time period, typically my energy is starting to go down. For me to put something in where I know I will not be successful is only going to make me feel like a failure. The best time for me to move my body is early on in the day. That's for me. Some of you might be like, my energy is so high at night after dinner or before dinner, I'm going to get my workout in. That's awesome. That's awesome. Your energy has to match. The solution energy has to match the realistic energy in which you're at that time. Okay. Does that make sense? That the energy has to match. You can't say, I'm going to go do a workout when everything I want to do is just kind of mellow. I'll never do it. Then guess what I'll do? I'll beat myself up for not doing it. And then I'll go to the pantry. That's not a good strategy. That's why your energy has to match. Okay. The third thing with having systems for you is that you've got to make sure that you like it. You reward yourself. You put a system into place and then you don't acknowledge it. That's not super rewarding for the brain. You have to reward it. I talk a lot about when I was losing lots of weight, one of the things that I would do is I would star my calendar. That was enough of a reward. And after 5 stars, I would go and buy something. This is a great time. Hello, Amazon. Get lipstick, get nail polish, get something. I would find something to beautify me. So it would be related. Obviously, it wasn't going to be food. I wasn't going to go reward myself with food. That didn't make sense. That's not what I wanted to be. That's not who I wanted to be. I needed to reward myself with things that mattered with where I was going. And what was hard for me is, and still sometimes hard, is beautifying myself, like investing in me and material things. So I would do that because that's always harder for me. And so I'd get a necklace, or I would get, I would just keep. And so I started like this. If I committed to the thing that I wanted to do 4 times, I would then reward. I would star it on my calendar, and then reward. I would then do it again. Star 4 times, reward. Star 4 times, reward. And then once I felt like that was really hunkering in place, I'd then move it up to 5 times, then move it up to 6 times, then move it up to 7 times, until I knew that that habit or ritual was now a habit, a new way of being. And then I'd work on another one. Okay. Your system, you don't want to put too many systems in place. Our minds, your mind will get confused and not take any action. And that's the last thing I really want for you. I want you taking loads of action in 1 or 2 areas. That's it. So if you want to focus on overeating, then find one way to help yourself stop doing that. If you want to focus on the thoughts that are in your head, focus on that. Don't overdo it. Don't overwhelm your brain, because how often, gosh, I've worked with so many people who come to me and they're like, I got 15 goals I want to work on. I'm like, well, no wonder why you're stuck. No wonder why your brain, 1, feels like it's massively broken. You're feeling like you're so broken. And 2, you're never going to be successful if you overdo how many things you're focusing on. You can't be successful. Your brain gets overwhelmed. And remember that fight or flight response? It will just freeze and you won't do anything. And when you don't feel successful and you don't feel like you're making progress, then many times, many of us will self-sabotage with food. And we want to avoid that at all costs. That's why the power of reward is so important. That's why if you can bring reward, success, play, some way to acknowledge the fact that you're making progress is going to be so beneficial for you. So make sure whatever system that you create, the system has a way to reward you, a way to see that you can see in your mind that you're making progress, because you deserve to see that. It's not fun for a kid to learn something and never hear from a teacher. Most companies, most people who work for companies say the one thing that they want more than anything is to be acknowledged, to be valued, to be told how important they are to their position and to their job. And yet, we're not very good at doing it for ourselves. We're not very good at saying to ourselves, you're doing great. It has to be something that you really give thought to. In the area where we struggle, we really have to ump up the reward. And we have to make them small. We have to chunk them down into bite-sized rewards. And your brain will start going, woohoo, nice job, me. I'm doing awesome. at I'm stopping myself from overeating at night. I'm doing awesome with starting to think about my thoughts and to think about, is this actually true? I'm doing great with XYZ. So I want each and every one of you to focus on one thing today that you want to focus on. One of these areas. Is it going to be overeating? Is it going to be stopping believing everything you're telling yourself? Beginning to catch some of these phrases and words? Is it going to be creating a new system? Share with me in the group here. And those of you on the phone, I'm happy if you have any questions, *2. I'm happy to answer any of your questions. But I want you to share with me what one of these three. Where are you going to focus your effort today? Get really clear so that you have it in your phone as a way to follow up. How are you going to reward whatever you decide upon? I love that. Mimi, I'm going to put a note on my fridge saying self-sabotage. I think that will help me tremendously. Awesome. Mimi, I want you to go further and say, let me know, how are you going to reward that? If you move towards not self-sabotaging, how are you going to reward yourself after 4 times of doing it? Kate, awesome. Eating only when hungry. Kate, how are you going to reward that? Yvonne, you're going to focus on the overeating aspect. Tell me specifically how you're going to do that, and tell me what you're going to do to reward. If you go 4 times of, stopping when your body's satisfied, of not overeating or not grabbing something. Kathy, eating only when you're hungry. Okay, awesome. I want to see a reward in there too. Roberta, I'm going to focus on building my new system and cultivating or creating new trust for me and my body. Okay, awesome. I want you getting really clear, Roberta. What is that going to look like? What's your new system for creating trust in your body, and how are you going to reward it? A new book, Kathy. Oh, that's what you're going to get. You're going to get a new book. Brilliant. I love that. Awesome. Love that. I'm going to completely ignore what my mind is doing today and get focused on relaxing and accepting self and enjoying stopping when satisfied. Reward will be reading and meditating. Brilliant, Lizzie. Love it. Laura, you're going to focus on overeating. Great. I decided this morning to start with half the amount of food that I needed. Great. I can always have more if I'm still hungry. Great system, great focus, and I want to know what your reward is. Diane, when I reach, let me go back here, sorry. When I reach for a snack, ask myself, what's really going on here? How am I feeling? From what is distracting myself? Then make a cup of coffee, go outside, watch my waterfall, birds, beautiful. Beautiful. Love that. Very clear. I only eat when I'm hungry, Karen. I will not believe my thoughts in my head. Awesome. It's amazing. I wonder if we all counted. It would be really interesting, wouldn't it be, to see how many times our brain is like saying, "Oh, you should eat that," or "You should keep eating that," or "Let's keep going. Come on, let's go." Right? I wonder how many times it does that in a day. It would be very interesting to keep a tally of that, to see. That's why by the end of the day, oftentimes it's like we've done it 25 times or 55 times. Good for us. We've actually done it so often, but we don't even recognize how awesome we've done. That's why I love having a way to acknowledge and celebrate and reward yourself in a non-food way. Kate, your reward. In the past, I put $1 aside for a purchase I wanted to make. Oh my God, I love that. Great idea. Put $1 aside each day. I love that so much. I'm focusing on a new system to maintain this new way of tending to my needs and respecting my body. Beautiful, Denise. I want to know, what is that? Okay, I want to know a little bit about your system, and I want to know, how will you know that you're successful at doing it, and then how are you going to reward yourself? Okay. I would love to know that. Valerie, I will focus on stopping overeating, grabbing a snack. I'm going to try the 4 stars for a reward. Need to think about what I want to purchase. Great. Awesome. I love it. That's really, really good. Really clear. After 4 times, I'm going to go purchase one of the many items on my wish list on Amazon. Oh, what a great idea. I should use that wish list. That's a great idea for that. That's a really smart idea, because then you can just kind of catch the things that you're like, ooh, I would love to have that. Or, ooh, that would be so fun to have. And then you can just put it on your wish list. And then when you do these things, you can be like, yep, yep, yep. Little by little. Fun idea. See, you guys give me so many tools too. I love this. Roberta, you tune in, listen to my gut, eating only if I'm hungry, meditate and reward myself with something cute to wear around the house. Oh, I love that. Like a cute t-shirt, something fun. Oh, I love that. I love that. Okay, so wait, let me make sure this is not too much for you, Roberta. You want to tune in, listen to your gut, eat only if you're hungry. And then if you're not hungry, are you going to meditate? And then if you do that meditation like 4 times, then you're going to get yourself something. And then if you do it, let's say 5 more times, then you're going to do it. What is that what you're thinking? I just want to make sure I'm clear. I want to make sure we have a real clear plan for you, Roberta. That is better than beans in the jar. That's funny. Reward will be getting an outside chair. Love it. See, we all have so many things that we could purchase for ourselves. I love it. I love seeing those beans though too. It was so rewarding over time. It is rewarding because the visual for sure. Okay, these are so good. So good. Anybody on the phone want to share with me? Star 2. I'm happy, so happy to hear what you're gonna do. But if you're on the phone, make sure you have your system. Okay. Yes, after 5 times. Great, Roberta. That's great. Okay. I wanted to just so we were clear. This is where I want you to take action, because you have to get, and so many of you've been following me for a long time. You all know this, that weight loss is a mental journey, right? This is a mental journey. If you try this today, or if you start this and you're like, hey, I need help, this is not working out so well for me, then I want you can always direct message me. I haven't opened up my schedule in a long time, because it's just been way too full. But I have a few openings. And if you're struggling, you can always direct message me and say, and if you don't hear from me, direct message me again and say, Marna, I need to talk through this with you. I need to come up with a plan, and I can help create a plan for you. And we can talk through it a bit. Okay. So let me know if you try this on your own, it's not working so well, and you're like, I need to do something here. I need to really get serious about creating this plan around the area of my overeating's out of control. My thoughts in my heads are out of control. My systems, I just can't. I can't focus on putting them like to practice. I'm just drawing a blank with how to put a plan in practice. Then DM me, direct message me, go to Marna Goldsteinthal, or stay in here and message me and let me know what you need. And like I said, I will do my very best to get back to you and help you. Okay. So you all have your focus. Yay. What a fun call. You all have your focus. You all know what you are doing, what your focus is. Okay. The beans, for any of you are wondering, what are the beans? What's going on? What are they talking about in the chat? If you're a 30-day challenge member, one of the things that we do is we put beads in jars, and that's what they're talking about. But if it's not a bead, it could be a bean, a piece of paper, it could be anything. So that's the reference there about the beans. All right. All right, wishing you a wonderful Wednesday. You know what your focus is, right? We created it. These are the things that hold people back. This inner dialogue, overeating, and not having good systems in place, not being solution-oriented and putting solutions in place. You pick one of those areas and you get good at that today, tomorrow, and the next day, you're going to see a difference with your weight. You just will have to. If you're no longer overeating, hello, we're going to be seeing a weight loss difference. If you're no longer believing that voice in your head and you're paying attention to it and you're really getting critical, wait, is this voice really accurate? Is this voice really giving me good information? Is this voice just trying to get me to eat? If you get in front of that, you will lose weight. And if you put systems in place, you will also lose weight. So I know this will help you. If you need to listen to this over and over again, do so. If you need to DM me, direct message me here in Facebook, feel free to do that. I will post this in the podcast. What I do is I kind of go through it, I edit it out, and I post it. It will be available tomorrow in the podcast, or you can watch this again and again here. Okay? I'm glad you liked this call. I'm so glad that you are here. Denise, I love that you're going to read your vision statement. Excellent. Beautiful. All of my circle folks, you all know what you should be doing. Inner Circle members, you know what you should be doing. You should all have your vision statement. You should all have your blocks, and you should all have your 1% ups. Okay. You all know what you should be doing there. Why does the voice want me to eat? The voice does not want you to eat. The voice is wanting you to be safe. It's a really great question. The voice is wanting to protect, love, and nurture you. That's what that voice is. You've just linked up in your head, Lana, you've linked up in your head eating with comfort, eating with numbing out, eating with procrastination, eating with not feeling, eating with something, okay? Your voice, it's just been a habit. I don't have a voice that tells me go drink, because I don't have an addictive nature to alcohol. I have more of addictive nature to food. I created that relationship in my head. So I have to watch and manage what that conversation is. When my conversation in my head just says, keep eating it, keep going, Marna, I have to manage it. Nobody else is going to manage it for me, unfortunately. I'd love to manage all your voices in your head. If I could do that, I would. And maybe one day we'll figure out a really great way to make that happen. But right now, you've got to manage what's happening. And so you've got to really just be aware, is this voice serving me? Or is this voice not serving me? And if it's a voice that doesn't serve you to get thinner, I think most of our voices try to protect us and love us and nurture us. So I shouldn't say that. I should say, if it's a voice that's that will serve you to get thinner, listen to it. Then great. If it's a voice that's not going to support weight loss, then find a different thing to say. Find a different way to nurture yourself. Find a different conversation. The inner dialogue conversation takes practice. You don't all of a sudden go, oh, I've got this new wonderful conversation in my head. No, it's taken me practice to have thin thinking and thin thoughts and thin beliefs. But I practice it and I practice it. And when I have a thought that doesn't align with where I want to go, I have to practice it. The amazing thing, this is still the same with business. It's still the same thought. We all have these areas of our life where we're uber successful, and you have thoughts that support it. Because why? You've built up patterns and habits and saying it over and over and over again. And in the same way, we got to just keep doing the same thing, recommitting to better thoughts, to thinner thoughts, to better beliefs, to systems that work, to stopping when we're satisfied, to not overeating, right? So it's not that there's anything wrong with you. It's not that you're broken. You've just tied them up. You've just tied some of these thoughts and beliefs up. Why? To love and protect and nurture you. That's why any of you have had abuse or trauma or gone through anything really significant and serious, and you put on weight afterwards. Why? Your body was trying to protect you. It wasn't trying to be mean. It's just the way it was trying to adapt and nurture and care for you. We just can find better ways, better systems, better thoughts, better actions. Okay, so you know where to focus. Enjoy, take loads of action today. And I will see all of you next week. For those of you on my 30-day challengers and my inner circle members, I'll see all of you on Friday. All right, talk to you all soon. Bye, everybody.